Good day. Welcome to our channel for the love of cricket. In fact, this is our first episode which we are going to air. I'm Raju Makijani and this is my son Neeraj Makijani. What do you think, Neeraj? What are your thoughts on our channel?
I think it's long due. We've been discussing cricket ever since I was maybe 4 years old.
Maybe younger.
Maybe younger, yeah.
But I followed cricket when I was 8 and we have been thinking about
So that's
this.
what, 80 years ago?
Probably more. Anyway, so we are thinking in terms of having a general discussion and then come out with some fascinating stories on cricket. It could be cricketers, it could be administrators, commentators,
Yep.
but something different, some refreshing stories on cricket.
And Dad has a wealth of these stories, which we need to hear from him soon. And it's going to be exciting. I haven't probably heard or remember most of them, so it's going to be fun.
Well, I have to dig into them. My memory is not as good as it used to be, but we'll try to work hard on the content and something nice. But anyway, let's get back to now, as we said, the general discussion. We are taking up the preview of the first test match between India and England. Coming in the backdrop of this tremendous series we had.
In Australia.
Once in a lifetime. I mean, as I said, I've been following this since 8, I'm 62. I've never seen anything like that. So, with that in the background and Neeraj with this World Test Championship coming up.
Yeah, and you, I think before ICC even came out with this, I remember you telling me that there should be a system in which, whether it's one day, T20 or test matches, that every game should have some sort of a value attached to it, some importance attached to it. And I think you're pretty happy that they've come out with this system.
Yeah, of course, because I always feel for the test match cricket because I don't mind the variations, to freshen the game, but you should not lose the original game which was happening. And which is probably still happening. It doesn't get its due, and you saw what test cricket is about in the series India-Australia. So the dilution of the original game shouldn't be there. And why I felt, because if it's like a 3 series match and if it is a 2-0, then the third match becomes dud, or it's more open to sadly the elements which are not supposed to be in the game. So it's better they have this. But let's come back to now the reviewing of, or the preview of the first test with the World Test Championship with
on the line.
Australia not touring South Africa. It has sent the points in a tizzy. New Zealand is there, I believe.
New Zealand have in fact qualified for the World Test Championship, which will be played in June this year at Lord's.
Okay, so India is, of course, technically topping the table, but New Zealand is there because they are not playing any more matches.
Yeah, and I read a comment somewhere online on social media with the comment that said New Zealand qualify by the barest of margins, which was a very famous line that Ian Smith from New Zealand had said when England had won the World Cup final, that England have won by the barest of margins, or in fact New Zealand have lost the World Cup by the barest of margins. So this time New Zealand have qualified by the barest of margins, and they'll be going back to Lord's.
That's karma.
That's karma, yeah. Maybe redemption. But yeah, New Zealand are qualified. Australia are not going to South Africa, which makes it interesting for the India-England series.
So this is the red ball. The beauty of the red ball cricket. Of course, we don't have the pink. We have the white here, which is in Ahmedabad coming up, the new addition. But now let's talk about the pitch. Okay, of course, the series has become exciting because, as we said, India coming back.
So
the World Championship,
Chennai, 5th of Feb,
Yes.
Friday morning. Yeah, let's get back to the pitch. You did some research on it.
Well, not really much, but I read that this is a gentleman who's new to the job. First time he's prepared this pitch. An entrepreneur,
Okay.
but he's got knowledge. He's been assisting others. So he said that, and thankfully, that these pitches are not going to be just like, turning on the first day square like we saw sometimes in the past. But
Yeah.
I think now they've improved on that, which is good. So this is going to be more green. So the
Okay.
English should be happy about it. So it's going to be probably a good contest between the bat and ball.
As it should be.
As it should be. As I've always said, that the ICC should look at this 22 yards,
Yeah.
which matters the most. Like the neutral umpires, the curators should be there to oversee, maybe international curators, that this pitch is of some basic, standard, which is standardized. Of course, the soil, the weather conditions will remain different, but there should be a good pitch available.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this pitch is going to be, as he says, because 2 back-to-back matches, so it should be a good sporting wicket, and that's what a good cricket fan loves to watch.
Yep.
A contest. So the pitch is going to be good, and we come to the selection now. And I don't know what you have read about the pitch, Neeraj, so you could give in your thought.
Traditionally, I've heard that the Chennai pitch is a run fest. But the good thing about this pitch is that we've had results. So it hasn't been like a...
Yeah, you mentioned Karun Nair before in one of
Yes.
my... Yeah.
Karun Nair had a debut series when England toured in 2016. And in Chennai, he scored 303 not out.
And sadly, we don't hear of him now.
And we don't hear of him. That's the game.
And this is what... now let's come to the selection of the Indian team. The 3 S's. Shardul. Sundar. Siraj.
Okay.
Now, they were the superstars of the last test, maybe just 15 days back. They may not figure. None of them might figure in the starting 11.
I really hope it's not a Karun Nair story.
No, I don't think.
Yeah. But that's the beauty of the team we have right now. It's a problem of people performing very well. And we have only 11 to
Well,
choose.
this is an embarrassment of riches. I've never seen such a state for the Indian selectors. So let's get into the team. Then Neeraj, you can say what would be your team. I think that maybe 8 positions are from my side filled up. You start with Gill, Rohit, Pujara, Kohli, Rahane, and Pant at number 6. And let me talk a little bit about Pant.
Yeah, and I think the top 6, I think we both agree that they should
they
should walk in.
Okay, that's good. Yeah. So now talking about Pant, I just want to mention this. Like I've heard some of the pundits of the game talking about Saha 2 playing. I mean, this is ridiculous for me. Pant should be given a long run with his wicket keeping.
Yeah.
You cannot let this guy play as a batsman, because when the wicket keeper is doing his job, he's always watching the hand of the bowler, and that makes him a better batsman.
Yeah.
Starting out, Dhoni or nothing. I mean, of course, I think Karthik was a better wicket keeper.
Yeah, during those times.
Yeah, during those times. But given the long run, Dhoni became the finest. He didn't have that typical stance of the wicket keeper crouching very low or this, but he became excellent. So you have to let Pant play as a wicket keeper. You have to back him. Yes, he will have an odd day. Yeah. He might miss some catches, yes, which is terrible, but you have to gamble because of his batting brilliance. You cannot play.
I mean, I think that's the only way he's going to get better.
And you cannot play with a wicket keeper. With him, he's pretty good. He will be a pretty good wicket keeper.
That's out of the question now.
Okay, now we come to the number 7th spot. Or let's say it's not the 7th spot. Ashwin will be there 7, and Bumrah will be there 8. So we are left with 3 positions for
spots.
India as a seed.
Yeah.
Now here is a problem. Now you will definitely go with one more seamer with Bumrah. Yeah. There's no argument on that. No. So Ishant Sharma few shy from the 300.
297.
297. Yeah. So in the last 20 test matches or so, he's been bowling brilliantly with an average of less than 20, which
Yeah.
is great for Ishant. Like Srinath, he was bowling short of a length, which was really not good.
Early in his career,
you know, even later on, saw the fruits he reaped, you know, when he was bowling up.
pitching it up.
Yeah. And similarly, Ishant is bowling great. He is fit now, so probably
I think it's fair to say that, of course, Bumrah is probably one of a kind now, but Ishant, I mean, even the last couple of years, he's been the leader of the attack.
Exactly. So Ishant probably will get in.
Yeah.
And then, for me, Kuldeep should play. He should have played in Brisbane too, for me.
Yeah.
Not in place of Sundar, but I feel in place of Saini. I'm not saying in hindsight. I don't like to talk in hindsight.
Yeah.
But Saini still didn't give me that body language. And I felt Kuldeep, as always, is being neglected. He's a different type of bowler, you know, a Brad Hogg type of a bowler, which is very difficult to fathom.
It's really rare, yeah.
Yeah, so he should play in India.
Yeah, I agree, yeah.
Now that comes to Aksar, who is, you know, in place of Jadeja.
Yeah.
Left arm, bats a bit. So, in India, you generally go with three spinners.
Yeah.
But looking at the pitch, maybe they might say, okay, let's play another seamer. Does Siraj come in, or then you talk about Hardik, which you have not spoken?
Well, let me bring something to the equation. So Hardik hasn't played Test cricket in a long time.
Yes.
It's been a long time that he hasn't played Test cricket. But Hardik is one guy who he just exudes confidence, right? I mean, he's so mentally strong that maybe even if he hasn't played Test cricket in a long time, he's just
Exactly.
you know, he just fits in.
He's a Stokes type character.
Yeah, he's a Stokes kind of a player.
Mentally very strong.
But the question about Hardik is, if he's featuring in this squad, is he going to give you those 10, 20 overs?
But that's the reason he's been selected. Because
I mean, I think so.
He was not selected in Australia because he wouldn't bowl. So probably he is fit to bowl. Now that's a quandary which they face.
After what you saw in Australia, I mean, Shardul, I think his batting was pretty good.
Shardul always has been...
He could be a contender too.
No, Shardul has been always a player with a very big heart.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's got these variations which are known to be the one-day variations, but they work in Test, as he showed. And he bats pretty well. So there is a, you know, difficulty in selection.
Situation to select.
Do you have Hardik Pandya coming in because he's fit to bowl? Do you have a Shardul? Do you have Sundar? Now Sundar is a similar bowler in the sense he's an off-spin bowler, but very different otherwise to Ashwin. So, you know, there is a situation for the selectors and it is going to be very difficult.
It's going to be tough.
It's going to be tough.
But let's just say, if Aksar does make the cut, it's going to be his debut match.
Yes.
And going by the trend, debutants have done well for India. And if Aksar comes in, then you have one left armour, you have an off spinner in Ashwin, and if they pick Kuldeep, then he's a Chinaman. So you have a lot of variety there.
I think that's how we have been winning matches in India.
Yeah, so I think if they go with three spinners, it should be this.
And a word on Jadeja, salutations. You know, he's been really batting brilliantly.
Yeah.
In the last 10-15 matches, probably he's got an average of plus 50. And he's giving you wickets at an average of 24 and 220 test wickets. And his fielding is, of course, he's plus 25-30.
Probably 50 in test matches.
25-30, 50 you know, in both the innings easily, and he could effect a run out or take a catch. So, you know, he's brought that wonderful balance. And as always, when he first came, I thought nothing wrong with his batting. I felt he had time to play his strokes. He could have been among our top 6 batsmen, but anyway, we are not discussing that.
Yeah.
So, I think the selection, well, it's difficult for anybody. Even for Kohli, maybe he doesn't know what to do till the very last minute.
Maybe, yes.
So, let's come to the English selection now.
Okay, English selection, yeah.
For me, to be honest, I don't know much about many of the players, but let's see who walks in.
Before we talk about the England selection, I just want to bring over one thing regarding the World Test Championship. because I feel like the series now hinges, and there's only a couple of scenarios where England can qualify. Also, India has to qualify if they beat England minimum 2 matches out of the 4. So India need to win 2 games. They can lose one, but if they win 2, they still qualify. But for England to qualify and to be in their home ground at Lords, they need to win minimum of 3 games. So if I was the England team, I'm going to go with the mindset as, you just give it everything you got. I mean, if you lose 4-0, you lose 4-0. But if you go with the mindset of, I need to win these 3 games. I can't afford to even win 2 games. I can't afford to draw. So you're going to go for the kill. I think their mindset is going to be like, we need to go for the kill, and we need to choose the best 11 who can do that.
And honestly, they might be ruining the fact now because of this South African trip being called off. Bairstow is not playing. Maybe if they knew that,
Bairstow is not
Bairstow
included
would,
in the first
would
test.
be in the first match. And they may not send Butler back, probably. They might have a rethink on that. But let me, I am quite surprised because most of the so-called pundits are taking an Indian victory for granted.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, let me quote Vijay Merchant, who used to always keep on saying, it's a game of glorious uncertainties. And this is what we saw now.
Yeah,
I mean, if India could beat Australia in Australia with whatever the second, third
string
preference,
team, yeah.
Why can't an England team do the same to India? You never know. I don't know. And you see, you have in an England team Joe Root, who's averaging plus 50, like Smith, like Kohli, like Williamson.
Yeah.
You have in Stokes one of the brilliant cricketers in the game today.
Yeah, modern day greats, yeah.
One doesn't need to remind you that match where he pulled off a last wicket partnership of 80 plus.
With Jack Leach. Yeah.
It was probably better than Pant.
Oh yeah, given the circumstances and the Ashes on the line.
So,
fantastic.
they have Stokes. They have a Archer.
They have Broad.
They have Broad.
Anderson.
They
have Vokes.
They have Vokes.
They have Moeen Ali.
They have Moeen Ali.
Yeah. They have
Butler. So now this is a team which has got the nucleus of a very good team.
Yeah.
Now let's look at, of course, we said Anderson, Broad, they have never been really great on Indian wickets. But now with 1,000 plus wickets between them, with their...
Yeah, and mind you, I mean, if Anderson and Broad are playing together, they have someone in Archer as a third bowler to support them. So it really makes a difference when you have someone like an Archer as your third seamer and potentially a Vokes and Stokes to support them. So they'll probably have short spells, full of, rhythm and...
Well, exactly, this is what I would do. I mean, it looks funny to have a plethora of bowlers, but look at their strength. Now, let's look at their team. Yeah. Burns probably will come in. He's coming after injury. Yeah. So he will probably open. There's probably, I don't know, Neeraj, you must not be up to scratch, but Crawley has a problem. He just fell down and he has probably a wrist problem. He may not play. Oh. So he was expected to maybe come down the order at 3 with Sibley, who played a gritty knock in Sri Lanka. Yeah. So Crawley may be not playing now.
Okay.
So that opens up. Otherwise, he could be the number 3 and Root could be 4.
Root could be 4. And I remember you said that you saw a bit of Dan Lawrence recently.
Yeah, not much, but I liked a little bit. He had time to play his strokes. So.
Okay.
But there is Oli coming in after a layoff.
Yeah.
So I really don't know. I can't comment. They know best. And again, I would say grit is what they should go for. You need temperament to play test matches. So they have to decide on their batting. But what I would want, if I would play Anderson, I would play Broad, because I would not play a spinner who they don't have confidence themselves against the Indians. I would rather go with Anderson and Broad and Stokes, Wokes, and Moeen Ali. So they have a lot of bowlers, but because of Butler wicket-keeping all-rounder, because of Moeen Ali all-rounder, because of Wokes as an all-rounder, you could probably play that combination here. Because, as you said, they have to go for the kill
They
to
need
qualify.
to go for the kill, yeah.
Yeah. So,
But I mean, potentially they bat till probably number 11, number 10.
even Jofra Archer.
Jofra Archer. But do you think that, I mean, they would consider taking, say, a full-time, bowler instead of having
Well, left
back to
arm Leach, because of that one nut out should walk
Yeah.
into the team. I mean,
I mean, you can say he has temperament.
he has temperament
Yeah.
and he's a left arm. But my argument is you have Moeen Ali, who's also returning back. He was not, I think,
He was
he was
not part
down
of the
with
squad.
COVID.
Yeah. Okay.
And so he's coming back, but he should 180 plus wickets, I think.
But I
Good.
tell you what, it's going to be a good contest if Moeen Ali plays, because every time
I would play him.
Moeen plays, for some reason, India, I don't know, take him lightly, and they actually lose a lot of wickets to him.
No, I think he's a very intelligent bowler, and they can't or should not be taking him lightly. He
Yeah,
has bamboozled a lot of them.
Yeah.
So he should play,
And he's a classy left
and
hander.
I would play the paceman along.
Okay.
Of course, there is room to bowl a little bit off spin. If Dan Lawrence, I think he also bowls a little bit.
I think
So-
I don't think they would require Root and
I
Dan
know. I
Lawrence
mean, you
also.
might argue that Bess,
Dom Bess.
yeah, I mean, his confidence will be shattered. You don't play him in Indian wickets or Leach. But I would take the risk
In the first test.
in the background also, with the background, of the pitch not being really an absolute turner. So with the maturity of Anderson and Broad in a pair, and Stokes, Wokes, and then you have that extra X factor like Bumrah or Archer,
Yeah.
I would consider playing the paceman with Moeen Ali as the only spinner, which is a gamble of sorts.
I mean, the amount of all-rounders they have, you would have 5, I would say, world-class pacers, and still be able to have Moeen Ali as a left arm. So potentially six
Moeen
world-class
Ali
bowlers.
left arm as a batsman.
No, I'm talking about the bowling now. So
The
you have
bowling, he's
you
a
have,
right arm. Right?
Yeah. You have Anderson, if they select Anderson, and Broad, Archer, Vokes, and Stokes. So you've got 5 world-class modern-day bowlers, and a Moeen Ali who can bowl off spin.
Yeah.
So 6 bowlers,
6 bowlers.
and
Because of the
yeah.
batting, they can afford to have these.
Yeah.
With Stokes, Butler, and Moeen.
Yeah.
So I think
They should go in
So
with
this
the
is a
5.
team we could say from both the sides. It will go to the wire because the selection of the pitch and
Yeah.
fitness and things like that. So
Okay, so you would take all the pacers.
Generally, I wouldn't
Gut
do
feeling.
that.
Generally, you wouldn't. Okay.
Yeah. But considering the situation and the Test Championship, maybe we do. And let's come now to the prediction.
Okay, before we do that, I wanted to pick out 2 players from each team to look out for, or who you feel can really change this test match or be the man of the test match.
Well, rightly, Root figures for the English team.
Yeah.
At this point in time, you cannot say that Root doesn't figure.
Yeah. Okay.
And Stokes, how he goes in this series.
Okay.
He will be the difference for England winning the series or winning a test match or so.
Yeah.
So for me, these are the 2 there.
Okay.
In India, I would pick, if he is given the run, Kuldeep.
Okay.
This boy has not got his due, but
Yeah.
he should be given the confidence. I wish and pray if Kuldeep is spoken to well and he's given the run, he could renew this series very easily.
Yeah.
And as always, I rate Pujara as a test player, around him everything functions. You might argue or criticize
His strike rate.
about his strike rate in Australia, which was necessary, there. But he is not going to be the same slow strike rate in India. But he is our main guy, and you have to respect this guy. I'm picking these guys because they are not given the due. Kuldeep has not yet got the run he should have got. And Pujara, now people realize it was extremely sad for me to see Pujara being dropped out of a test team, or a Rahane sitting outside, because Rahane has a better average away than at home.
Yeah.
So, picking two, Pujara and Kuldeep.
Okay, I'm really looking forward to the Jofra Archer battle with our Indian batsman. It's going to be really fun to watch because he's played the IPL, but I really want to see how he plays the Test match in India. And Kohli is coming back of sorts, and he's not had the best 2020. He hasn't scored a century in international cricket for over 13-14 months. So I don't think he'll play on his mind, but you know how he likes to lead his country. He likes to be on top. So I'm looking forward to that battle. That'll be great. And I just can't wait to hear the sound of the ball hitting Shubman Gill's bat. I think I can never forget that in Australia. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Yes, of course, there are exciting times with Stokes, Archer playing in IPL. They have more advantage now of the conditions.
Yeah.
Is there any other player who has played in the IPL from England in the Test? I think Morgan plays. Of course, Morgan plays, but
Mohan would have been playing for a bit, but not recently.
Yeah,
not recently.
But well, they have this experience of IPL. Some of them that would stand them in good stead. How Indian conditions are.
Yeah.
So it is going to be a good battle.
India
Kohli coming back to captain after what has happened when he's away.
What do you mean? Making a baby? Yeah.
No, the thing is, these are things which are not on the field, but they do affect.
Yeah.
How he's strong, but how does it affect him now? Does he overreact as a captain?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Because
to watch.
A lot of praises have flowed from all over the world.
All over the world, yeah.
And he deserves it. And I've always said that before. Rahane is one of a kind human being also. So he has managed the team so well.
Yeah.
He makes everybody feel comfortable themselves. And this is where
it brought about like a chain.
And there should have been more praise for him from the management. Shastri was always there. Kohli was always there. The support staff was always there so many years. They lost the World Cups, which could have been ours. So, not that the processes have not, done their job, but give it to Rahane. He has made the difference to the winning of the series.
Yeah.
And if you recollect, Neeraj, when Kohli was going and 36,
all out.
The winter of 36 after I was through the summer of 42 in 74.
Yeah.
What did I say? This is the best thing. Kohli has gone back. Rahane has that thing in him, the calming touch.
Yeah, I mean, he did say that. He was saying that
all is not lost.
Yeah, he said all is not lost, and Neeraj, this could be the best thing for the Indian cricket team. And I was like, wait,
and mind
how
you,
are you saying
nothing
that?
Personal against Kohli.
No, nothing personal.
But you see, as a captain, you don't have to wear your heart on your sleeve.
Yeah.
You cannot point to a player. I remember him pointing to Kedar that he's not running. Well, these things are not done. It kills your confidence.
Yeah.
You could have a word later in the team meeting or things like that, or you can. There are ways to be passionate.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's.
But that's
nature.
another story.
That's his nature.
He's one of probably the best ever batsman India has
That's
come
right.
up with. To be honest, in times where it matters, he's doing
obviously
better than Tendulkar.
Yeah.
But as a captain, I think
I was thoroughly impressed by Rahane. So
yes,
yeah.
and I was expecting that. So good luck to Kohli.
Yeah, good luck.
And
to
there's
the
nothing
team.
wrong in taking a leaf out of Rahane's captaincy.
Absolutely.
They have to work for Team India, and that's what matters.
That's what matters most. Yeah.
Good luck, India.
Wait, prediction. Who's winning this test match? You can't just walk away like that. You're confusing the audience by wearing this color. I don't know if it's the English blue or the Indian blue. And
Well-
so am I.
Well, I am always the lover of the game. Of course, I feel very happy when India wins, but you have to be a graceful loser at all times.
Of course.
Let there be a good game of cricket.
I hope so. I
That's
hope
what the game is all about.
I hope it goes till the 5th day, last session.
I mean, that phrase, that's not cricket. It's a gentleman's game. And this is where I feel ICC has to do a lot more things on many fronts. There is no place for sledging. It's not excitement, or it's not bringing in more excitement to the game.
The Aussies.
I mean, the bowler has the ball, the batsman
Yeah.
has a bat. That's it.
All the Aussies watching us would be.
No, they should look at this. They should look at this. I mean,
Okay, prediction.
in Chennai, I would take an India victory.
Okay, same here. India winning.
Good luck. God bless.